All right. You guys ready?
Yes.
All right. Hi, I'm Nikki.
I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Jamie.
And this is America's Asses, a gal cast. Hi, ladies. I missed you.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi. Welcome to America's Asses. We're a gal cast, an MCU-centric podcast by women for everybody. Right, ladies?
Absolutely.
You got it.
Oh, honeys. I've been so busy. I feel like we haven't talked. I feel like because we've all had like just a very productive week, I guess.
Yeah, it's been busy.
We've been real busy. We're getting ready on our end for our big road trip to beautiful New Hampshire.
Hey, it's anywhere but here, so that's exciting.
Right? Well, I was, I'm so nervous about because my kids can't be vaccinated. They're not old enough yet. So I've been very, very nervous and whatever. And the bonus, we're leaving at 2 a.m. Because Mr. Big refuses to spend the night anywhere, which is fine. I get it, So we're leaving at 2 a.m. just so we can just get through Indiana because everybody knows how Indiana just sucks. Not the people.
Yes, it does.
But like
the drive.
The drive. Oh, it's terrible. So we're looking, by the time the kids wake up, we'll be in Cleveland, we figure.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, yeah. So, but yeah, we're driving to New Hampshire. We're getting all set. We're all packed. And
Woo-hoo.
look, I got my corner of packed stuff.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. We did that all day yesterday. And then the kids packed their clothes today. And then I had to repack it today.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Because according to the princess, she just needs one pair of socks and 2 pairs of dirty underwear.
Oh, Lord.
That's awesome.
I'm like, well, what about clothes?
Clean underwear?
Yeah. Well, yeah, that too. But I'm like, what about clothes? And she goes, oh, yeah, that's right. And she grabs her swimsuit and that's it. I'm like, that's what you're going to wear all week? She's like, yeah. All right. So then I just packed her back. Whatever. She's taken her she has a little Minnie Mouse blankie that she's had since birth. And it's her whoopee. And then she has a Princess Peach doll that she's had for a while. That's her other whoopee. And every time we mention New Hampshire or vacation, she goes, can I bring Peach and Minnie?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, you can. Yes. So, and then what about you guys?
Just crazy busy.
Yeah.
Had an adventure.
What was your adventure?
Went to the zoo.
That's
Yay.
fun.
It was so fun. It was Nugget's first time and he just loved it. So I'm exhausted, but I'm like riding on the high of like a good day. So
isn't it, as a parent, when you have like a first that goes picture perfect, it's wonderful because
you can't ask for anything more.
No, you cannot. No, you can, because there are some firsts that you're like, oh my God, seriously. And usually they don't turn out because of other people, so usually.
No, I couldn't have asked for anything better. So
fantastic.
Super excited.
What about you, Alyssa? What have you been up to?
Nothing.
Oh, well, hey, no news is good news, right?
I'm going back in the office. I found out last week, so I've been pretty depressed for the last couple days.
Dude, that sucks.
Thoughts and prayers.
I'm just pretty depressed that I have to go back to work.
Yeah.
In the office. Not work. I've been working this whole time.
Right.
It's just actually commuting and going downtown into the city.
Right.
That will be my adventure.
So we all have great thing. Okay, so some housekeeping off the bat. When the OG 6+ hear this, it will be on Wednesday, the 30th of June. And then our next episode will not be out until the 10th of June. And then, I'm sorry, the 10th of July. Thank you. Our next episode after that won't come out till the 10th of July because, you know, Mr. Big gets vacation when he can get vacation, and we are taking advantage of that. So it may come out on time. We'll see. We're going to try and work it out. But if it doesn't,
we're going to let Nikki enjoy her vacation.
Not, be flexible.
And, you know, she won't be editing while she's, you know, on the other side of the country.
Well, I don't. Well, let me tell you, editing would probably be more fun than just sitting around at my in-laws. Okay,
you do you. You do you.
I love my sister-in-law and I love my mother-in-law, but they're very quiet people, and you guys know me very well. They are very quiet people, and sometimes you're like, "Wow, you can hear a pin drop."
Literally
hear a pin drop.
I don't know what that's like. So.
But in their defense, the first time they came to one of my family functions, their heads almost blew off their
I was going to say they got blown away.
Yeah.
Was it like my big fat Greek wedding?
Oh, 100%.
I could see that like
there's a hole in this cake, boot cake.
But just like everybody, they're just sitting there and everybody's just bombarding them. And
they're just like bright-eyed,
overwhelmed.
Like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Until it's time to play games. Because our family, we like to play games. We either play cards or dominoes or trivia games.
Yeah.
And I don't think Mr. Big's mom has ever lost a game. People fight over what team
that
she's
sounds
going to
like
be on.
Jamie's dad.
Yeah, that's my dad. Totally my dad.
Oh my God, that's totally dad.
And there's a rule that
that's why we can't learn how to play new games with him.
Pinochle.
Yeah.
Pinocles is the devil's game.
Yeah.
Seriously. There's a family rule that she cannot play with me or Mr. Big, because between her, me, and Mr. Big, like if the three of us play together,
no one stands a chance.
Nobody's going to stand a chance. Easily the two smartest people to walk this earth is Mr. Big and his mother.
Okay.
Mrs. Big. Yes. They are so smart.
Mama Big.
Mama Big. There you go. Mama Big. So
you're Mrs. Big.
I'm Mrs. Big. Yeah. So, but anyway, I digress. All right, ladies. Oh, that was a bad one.
What the hell was that?
Supposed to be Marvel News. Marvel News. You're supposed to do your yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, baby.
This is going to be a great episode. I could tell already. All right. So, okay. They changed the ending to WandaVision, y'all.
Right.
Okay.
I saw that on the TikTok.
Didn't tell anybody.
And I sent it to you too.
Right.
And I'm like, what the?
I didn't believe you.
What the hump?
So I watched it once and I thought I saw it. So I watched it, I am not joking, 9 more times. I watched it 9 more times and I couldn't see it. And then Mr. Big is like, come on, let's watch this. I was like, dude, it's not there. I saw it the first time, but I think I was just seeing things. You know how your mind plays tricks on you.
Because
like you know what it's there, what it's supposed to be.
He's like, no, it's right there. And we played it a couple times and he followed the TV with his fingers. Sure as shit.
So for those of you who don't know, there is at the end of WandaVision, if you remember in the second post-credit scene, they show the mountains and the cabin, and now you could see kind of like an orb type of something floating,
or like a silhouette.
Silhouette floating through the trees. And everybody's thinking that because since COVID and everything, but before they were supposed to have Doctor Strange in there. So they're thinking that that's supposed to be his representation.
So Mr. Big came up with a really good theory on this.
Okay.
I'm so glad I married him. Because 99% of the ideas I get, he tells me. So they're not my ideas, they're his. So
gotta give him credit.
Gotta give him credit. So he said, well, Loki and Lady Loki or Sylvie. I keep wanting to call her Sisu, but that's Rhea and the Last Dragon. I keep calling her Sisu. Sylvie. Loki and Sylvie just blew up the timeline, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now they're changing it. Now they're changing the ending because the timeline's fucked up.
What I was thinking, and I think I've seen this on the TikTok as well, that when they blew up the timeline, that is when Wanda heard the boys. Because of them blowing up the timeline. That like that moment that happened, then that's when the boys kind of came back, and then that's when they were calling for her.
Oh man, that makes sense.
That's parallel to that.
Oh, I love that idea.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So we'll see how that plays out.
Can I just so that's your news.
Yeah.
There you go. So I just want to say that this episode.
Oh my God, Nikki was so excited that she was covering this episode.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like
I will tell you that
stoked.
I will tell you this. If it had landed that this was Jamie's, I would be like, girl, take a week off.
See,
I got this. Yeah.
It worked out. Everything happens for a reason.
Yes,
for sure.
Absolutely.
We were meant to change this.
We were meant to change
one reason
for this. But this whole series has been, obviously, everybody knows that I've been really loving this.
Yes, you have.
I'm more so than the other two. I love the other two, WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier. Love them too. But this one speaks to my nerd soul. This episode was like a Doctor Who episode. It was just so Doctor Who and Loki and, well, the variant Loki, they're Doctor Who and his companion. And it's just so, oh my God, it's just so wonderful. I love it so much. I watched it. I'm not joking. I watched it like 5 times this last episode. You're like, yeah, don't faze me. Yeah, sure. And you're
what
like, yeah, and yeah, right.
Old news.
My God, I am so. And here is the hardest part is the fact that we are leaving at 2 a.m. on the 30th, which is a Wednesday. I am not allowed to watch Loki while we're on this 18-hour fucking car ride.
No, he's gonna kill you.
He says to me, he didn't even ask me if I wanted to, or he didn't tell me I couldn't. He just assumed I wouldn't. Like,
what happens when you assume?
He says to me, no more than 10 minutes ago, before we were coming on, we were just going down our to-do list. And he goes, and I told him how I was, how his sister has the loft and I can record there if we have to on vacation and blah, blah. He's like, yeah. He's like, and the only thing is we can't watch Loki until Thursday though. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Wait, what?
I can watch it. I'm in a car. I'm the passenger. You won't let me drive. So I can.
You could have it. You could have it. He could listen to it.
No, he won't. No,
there's no way.
There's no way.
I wouldn't be able to do that either. No.
No. He's got to focus.
Well, I know, but have it on and then go back and watch it.
No, this is one of those shows where you have to watch. So we're going to watch it. We're going to watch it Thursday morning. We're going to get up before everybody and we're going to watch it on our phone in the morning before everybody wakes up, just so we can watch.
Can't you watch it on your laptop? It'll be bigger.
Oh yeah, we could do that too. Yeah.
I'm just
I'll
saying
just
it'll
bring
be
the
bigger
laptop.
than your phone.
Yeah, you're right.
Right.
You're right. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, you're right. You're right. So, all right. Are we ready?
Ready?
Yes.
All right. So I am covering Loki season 1, episode 3, Lamentis. I just love it. We open up to a recap from episode 2. And then the show opens up to a song called Demons by Haley Kiyoko. And the lyrics are, there's something in the water. I don't like the flavor. I don't like the taste. Searching for Nirvana. Something that'll take it all away from me. Don't bother me. My misery. It's holding me. Won't let me speak. Please forgive me. I've got demons in my head. I think that song was a very good selection for what we're about to see.
Agreed.
Well, right.
We open up to Hunter C20 and the Loki variant at a restaurant drinking margaritas and talking about appetizers. When Hunter C20 gets a brain freeze and the Loki variant explains what brain freeze is. It's when you sip something so cold, it permeates the roof of your mouth and it freezes the synapses in your brain so your memories are literally frozen in place. And Hunter C20 is like, no, not true. You're full of it. So the variant Loki has her do an experiment by having C20 drink a margarita and giving herself brain freeze. So variant Loki can ask C20 how many people are guarding the timekeepers. And then when she says this, C20 is like,
what?
Yeah. She's like, what? She's so confused.
Mm-hmm.
And because they're back in like C20's time, they're not in uniform. They're in regular street clothes. Like they're at.
Yeah,
like,
this was like before Hunter C20 became Hunter C20.
yeah, they're like at an Applebee's or a Bennigan's, you know? So C20's confused when she asked about who's guarding the time, how many people are guarding the timekeepers. All of a sudden, it turned into night with music playing louder and more patrons in the restaurant. Like, just boom. And then the variant Loki asked, how long have we been best friends? And explained to C20 that she can tell her anything. And then asked her again, how many people are guarding the timekeepers? And C20 almost spilled the beans. Well, it turned out that variant Loki got information out of her by putting her in an enchantment by touching her temples with a green glowing finger, like ET style, like, and including how to find the elevators. Like that was her question. Like, where are the elevators? So she got all the information she needed out of C20.
So an interesting little tidbit about that whole like intro scene when the music is playing, the lyrics that line up with the with Hunter C20 and variant Loki is the line about the demons. Please forgive me, I've got demons in my head.
Oh man.
Well, that's variant Loki. Variant Loki is in C20's head.
Absolutely. 100%.
So it was just, I thought it was really kind of cool how that just kind of lined up.
So lined up. Oh my God. Yeah. Very smart. Very smart.
Like, we know this about Marvel. No detail is by accident.
The minute details. And I'm sure we don't catch all of them. Obviously we don't. I mean, we're novice at this stuff, right? But like, even like the like Straw Hat Goofy and, like all those ticky-tack people that we like to watch that like know their Marvel
that really delve into it.
They even miss stuff sometimes,
So I don't feel so bad.
No, don't. All right. Then there's the opening logo of Loki. And then the next scene opens up to all hell breaking loose at the TVA. Like all hell's breaking loose. And out of the magic.
I mean, this is like seconds after last episode.
Yes.
Like it's definitely picks right up.
Picks right up. Scene opens up to all hell breaking loose at the TVA. And out of that magic door walks the variant Loki in the locker room at the TVA. She's like, I am on a mission. While walking through the TVA on her way to wherever she's going, Variant Loki comes across some Minutemen and basically kicks their asses. But not before, did you notice this? But not before she put her hair in a ponytail. Can we get a holler for female directors? Let me tell you, because if that was a male director, they would not have instructed the actor to put her hair in a ponytail. We all put our hair in a ponytail.
She'd be fighting with hair in her face and no one would care.
I mean, all of us put our hair in a ponytail to do fucking dishes, to do whatever, gardening.
Yep.
We all put our hair in a ponytail to fuck some shit up. Okay.
Exactly.
We all do it. And I love that. Kate Huron is the director, and I just think she's doing a fantastic, fantastic job. Holy moly, is she? Then Variant Loki realizes that her powers don't work at the TVA, and she's like, oh, fuck. So she gets her hands on one of their batons, and she vaporizes a few of them as she's fighting them. But this is something I found very odd. She didn't take it with her. I would have.
Right. I literally was saying the same thing. I'm like, you're gonna need it.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're gonna need it, lady. So, but she didn't take it with her. But, well, obviously she doesn't need it because we saw what happened. Although that could have came in handy in a couple spots. Anyway, she just dropped it and just
everything means something. It's not in the script.
So maybe we should just keep our eyes peeled and just remember that. Put that in the filing cabinet, So, and then she goes on her merry way and, without taking anything, she just walks off. Next, we get our Loki coming through the same magic door and realizing he's back at the TVA locker room. So he realizes where he is and he grabs his daggers out of B-15's locker. Good move.
Yeah.
Our Loki finds the Variant Loki outside Ravana's office. And which, if she was going for the timekeepers, are they like in those? I just thought of this now. Are they in those statues? Or is there like a special?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, she was going for the or is Ravana one of the timekeepers?
I don't think so.
No. Mm-hmm. Throw it out there. I mean,
I don't know.
Mr. Big and I
want to lean toward no, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. I just thought of that just now. So, I haven't really put any real thought to it. And right before they start fighting, her Variant Loki and our Loki, right before they start fighting, our Loki asks her if she's a variant of himself. She simply says that she doesn't have time for his bullshit. And then, just get out of my way. And Loki's like, you are my way. And then he flips his knives. He flips his knives and man. And then they just start beating the shit out of each other. And our Loki, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
I had a little tidbit on the sword that she has.
Ooh, okay.
There's at one point, there's a close-up of the blade and it reveals that it's adorned with the kind of runes seen previously on Asgard,
nice.
potentially revealing that the Variant Loki and Loki's backstories are closer than they seem. So it was just very interesting.
Well, okay. You know how last week you said that, well, we'll get there. We'll get there when she reveals who she is. Okay. We'll get there. So our Loki propositions her and suggests that they could work together. And if looks could kill, ladies, let me tell you, Variant Loki gave him such a look. He would be dead if looks could kill.
Oh, God, I know, right?
She gave him the most disgusting stink eye, and I loved every minute of it. And then she just kicked him in the chest. So, yeah. So Loki is all like, I see your lack of vision, blah, blah, blah. basically they both want to get to the timekeepers for their own reasons, and she just doesn't want to she doesn't want to work with them. She's like, get out of my way, just let me do my own thing. And he's looking at her.
I didn't ask for you to be there.
Right.
Messing up my jam, man.
Yeah. And so then all of a sudden, Ravonna shows up with her baton and 2 other Minutemen. And Variant Loki puts our Loki in an arm lock with a sword to his throat and tells Ravonna, if she comes any closer, she's going to kill Loki. And obviously, Ravonna does not give a rat's ass. She's like, go right ahead.
0 fucks.
Thanks, save me the trouble.
Right?
Yeah.
She's like, I could care less about this fucker. So then Loki then pulls a temp pad out of his pocket and teleports them to some strange place. So
I don't think that was his pocket. That was her pocket.
Oh, her pocket. Oh, yes.
He pulls it out of
because he was like behind her. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
You're right. Yes. So he pulls it out of her pocket. So now he has the temp pad, right?
Yeah.
So they're in some strange place. They fight over the temp pad, and Variant Loki grabs it to get rid of our Loki, but the battery is dead. They tussle over it again a little bit more, and our Loki grabs it. Variant Loki tells him to give it back to her because our Loki doesn't even know how to charge it. Then he says that he's not the only tech-savvy Loki, and she is pissed and says to him, do not call me Loki. A couple times now in the series, she's said, don't call me Loki, you know? They get ready to start fighting again until a meteorite shoots right through the roof at their feet. Then we find out that our Loki sent them to Lamentis 1 in year 2077. As they're running for their lives and dodging meteors, Variant Loki explains to our Loki that Lamentis 1 is a habitable moon of Lamentis, which is the planet. And in 2077, Lamentis broke apart and its fragments crashed into the moon. And out of all of the apocalypse saved on that temp pad, that this one is the worst. There are absolutely no survivors.
So, and Lamentis is also, it's located on the edge of Kree space.
Mm-hmm.
And in Annihilation Conquest Prologue issue number 1.
So now Variant Loki reluctantly has to work with our Loki. You know, she's like, oh God, now I have to work with him just to get out of here alive, right? They just need to get off that moon, or they're both going to be dead. And she keeps our Loki alive because he has the temp pad hidden away. And if she wants to make it out alive, she has to make sure he's alive. So, you know, she's fucked. She just has to suck it up. So now they have to work together to find a way to charge the temp pad in order to get off the moon. They make it to a safe pod to catch their breath as they're running, dodging meteorites. And Variant Loki tries to enchant our Loki. Get it? Enchantress?
Yo. Which could be why she's always gets so upset when he tries to call her Loki.
Yeah, you think, right? Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't work. She says it won't work because he's a magician, and our Loki says it. Our Loki says no, it's because my mind is too strong.
Yeah, okay.
All right, dude, whatever. Then they started fighting again. Lots of fighting in this episode between them two, both physically and verbally. Like they're like an old married couple, you know, with the yelling, not the hitting. But hitting is not good.
Like, whenever they're like running and stuff, and then they make it into the other building, like he still like opens up the door for her. And
yes.
Go first. And I was like, oh,
like forever a gentleman.
He's still a gentleman.
Is that Tom Hiddleston or is that Loki doing
Probably
that?
Tom.
Probably Tom, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, and he's always
like for somebody who's you know, who doesn't care about her, he still is like trying to pull her away from getting hit by the meteors and letting her go in first, and except later in the house. But
yeah, well, yeah,
that's her own fault.
That's later.
That's her fault. Yeah. So when Variant Loki asked where the gem pad is, our Loki tells her that it's hidden in his heart because it's just, he made it disappear.
Yeah.
And she threatened to cut his heart out because she needs that gem pad, you know? So basically they come to the conclusion that they just need to work together to get out, but they still really don't like each other. So Variant Loki scolds our Loki, telling him that the plan that he interrupted took years in the making. And Variant Loki is still dead set on finishing what she started at the TVA and threatened to kill our Loki when she's done. And our Loki says, or I'll kill you. She just smirked and walked off, you know? Loki asked where Variant Loki is going, and she explained that there's power somewhere on this moon, and they're going to need it to turn the temp pad back on. So off they go to find enough power to, thoroughly. This is what she said. We need to find enough power to travel through interdimensional time and space. So that sounds like they need a lot of power, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So as they're walking, they're fighting because that's just what they do. And she's just not giving him a chance whatsoever. But then again, I mean, if she's a Variant Loki, she knows he's shifty, right? But he's trying his best, I guess. But, whatever. Our Loki calls Variant Loki Variant, and she snaps back. Do not call me Variant. Our Loki says, I'm sorry. I'm not calling some faded photocopy of myself Loki. That was a great line.
I love
great line. And that's when we get the whoop-pow, baby. Variant Loki says, good, because that's not who I am anymore. I'm Sylvie now. So woohoo! We got a name. So her name is Sylvie. So Sylvie in the comics, like last week, you heard Enchantress, who is Sylvie. She's originally from Oklahoma. So in the comics, when after Ragnarok, New Asgard set up shop in Oklahoma. And she was an original Asgardian, one of the few that fled. She was a little girl. So I've got theories. Just wait, lady.
Okay.
I got theories. Can we talk about last week's theories? Time out. Did we or did we not say that we thought that the people at the TVA were being held against their will?
Yup.
Uh-huh.
Ladies, this is shaping up to be good for us.
Right?
Knock on wood.
Good.
Knock on wood.
We're doing good.
So far, so good. You want to know what? Because I think they wrote this for me. And that's just how my nerd brain works. You got sci-fi. You got buddy cop drama. You got fucking Tom Hiddleston. Oh my God. I mean, I'm just Doctor Who-ish. This is the Doctor Who of the Marvel world right now. And I'm here for it. It's fucking fantastic. Yeah. Oh man. So, but yeah, I was very proud of us ladies in our predictions last week. Very proud of us.
Yeah, go us.
Woo! So now I'm going to start referring to them as Loki and Sylvie. Okay. So, like I had code names in my notes and everything. And I was like, I just got to get to this part. All right. Because I had VL and OL for Variant Loki and our Loki, because it gets real confusing real quick, right? So they're fighting, and Loki says, so your years in the making plan is to tear down the TVA and just walk away? I would never do that. And Sylvie responds with, I'm not you. So I think that can be a clue. Do you think she's really a Loki variant? Is she a mashup of Sylvie and Loki? So many questions.
Yeah.
Because she's definitely
good. Because I did see like they were saying that she's kind of a mix of Lady Loki and Sylvie, like what she's able to do and how she reacts and everything like that. So
all right. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not predicting. Well, I did already, I guess. I already said, I think in episode 1 or 2. Was it 2 last week? I said,
It was 2.
Yeah, I already said that. So there's no turning back now. That's already published and out there.
See.
So can't edit that. All right. While they're trying to find a power source to power up the temp pad, Loki asks Sylvie, how long do they have? And she said about 12 hours till total annihilation.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Annihilation. They come across this shack in the middle of nowhere, and Loki reminds Sylvie that brute force is no substitute for diplomacy and guile. So, did you guys know what guile meant?
No.
Neither did I. I'm like, am I dumb? I did not know what guile meant. But then again, I'm sure it's no surprise to any of you because I am the village idiot of the podcast. So you guys would never think I would know what guile is. And I didn't. So I used my trusty Googler and I found out that guile means sly or cunning intelligence.
Oh, cunning.
Ladies, we have guile.
I like it.
They're going to try and get power for the temp pad from the shack, but just wait. Some old biddy is there and she just blasts Sylvie right out the door. Just boom, right out the door. And Loki's
See, that's what I was referring to, where he didn't go first because he knew it was going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Loki decides to pretend that he's her husband. And he says to the lady, hello, dear. Hello, dear. It's been a long time. But there's no fooling her. She shoots Loki out the door. And she knows he's a con artist, right? He's a bullshit artist. And she says, Patrice never said a nice thing in 30 years. That's how she knew it wasn't.
So she's like, right? I know these things.
Yeah. She's like,
oh, you're just as beautiful as ever. Yeah, right.
She's like, fuck you. You haven't told me I was beautiful ever.
Imposter.
Right.
Yeah. And then she claimed they were the devil, which I thought was a great detail since in episode 1, the little kid in France pointed to the devil and they alluded that it was Loki with the kablooey gum. Mm-hmm. Anyway, they asked where everyone was and the lady said that they were all at the evacuation vessel. So Sylvie has this great idea to try and get on board the vessel to get the power to start the temp pad. The lady then tells them that they need to take a train to the evacuation vessel, but that they will never get tickets. So they're now off to catch the train to the vessel. And she's like, good luck, because they're only giving tickets away to rich people, which, good reflection to today's society, I guess. Yeah. You're right. So the next scene is at the train depot. And this really broke my heart, these people. So a long line of people are waiting to get on the train. Right. Yeah, that really just broke my heart. I mean, that's because ladies, we donate, we help, we're active members of our society.
And we're also empathetic.
We're very empathetic. The three of us are very empathetic people. And there are some things like, I don't know about you, but like there's this, there are shows I can't watch because I get too emotional. Like that movie that, what is it? Endings, Beginnings. I couldn't watch that because I got too upset. I got too emotional and I just couldn't watch it. And then there are other shows like Pose on Netflix. It's such a great show, but I can't binge it. I have to watch it in increments because I feel so bad for these people. Like I just feel so bad. I want to change their life,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's too much.
It's too much for me. So this was one of those scenes where I was like, oh, I feel so bad for these people. They're in dire straits,
because they know they're going to die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if they don't get on
that may see who's being allowed on.
Right. They know it's not.
And it was like reminded me of like the Titanic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I thought the same thing, Jamie.
But you know what it also reminded me of? Like, we'll get there in a second. But like when they get on the train, like kind of, and even when they get up
Hunger
there.
Games.
Hunger. Yes, I was just gonna say
their
that
outfits,
the outfits and like all of the
like the lavish,
class.
yeah,
and they had these weird, costumes.
Yeah, I was totally getting all those same vibes.
I was like, they walk in, I was like, wait, is this Hunger Games?
Yeah, I totally get
when
it.
Did that happen?
Yep.
I totally.
That's funny. I love that we all picked up on those different references and like similarities.
Yeah, that's because we're friends and we get each other.
I know, I love it.
We're nerds.
Because we're nerds. Because we're giant nerds. So this long line of people are waiting to get on the train, and these poor people, you hear them yelling and getting frustrated, saying the arc leaves tonight and that they've been waiting for hours and hours. Meanwhile, you see all of these ritzy ditzy rich folks just walking aboard like their shit don't stink. Like, just like you said, it reminded us of Hunger Games. It totally was like that.
But like how they're walking aboard, it's like they're stiff. It's like they're walking to a party, not like they're walking to
their death.
Their lives are gonna be safe. They're
like they're being introduced, a debutante being introduced to society,
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. So Loki and Sylvie are debating on how to pass up the crowd of people, and then Loki decides to make himself into a guard, and it totally worked, and they get on the train. So they're on the train, and Sylvie sits down, and Loki goes, I can't go backwards on a train, which I feel you, man. I feel you.
I feel you. Like, I can't do that either.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Man, I don't have my back to a door."
He's like,
and I agree with that too.
Right. But then he's like, there's doors everywhere. So she's like, just shut up and sit down.
Yeah.
Just shut up. Just do it.
So Loki and Sylvie, they start to talk, and Loki tells Sylvie all about his mother, Frigga, and how she taught him everything he knows. But Sylvie says she taught herself how to enchant people.
And he's like totally thrown back.
He's like, you taught yourself?
Right.
Yeah.
Like
he was genuinely impressed.
Yeah. How'd you teach yourself how to do that?
So this scene, I don't know, ladies, I'm sure you'll agree with me. The scene has probably the most honest and real acting I have seen in a long time.
From both of them.
From both of them, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since Falcon and Winter Soldier, like in WandaVision, I mean, there's just such fantastic acting in all three of the series. But this right here was just phenomenal. Anyway, Tom Hiddleston's acting is just superb. And then Sophia DiMartino's acting is stellar. You could see the longing in her face as Loki was talking about his mother. And she was just, you can tell that she was envious of him for having a mother. And you could just see that just in her eyes. That's acting, folks. Anyway, Sylvie says she barely remembers her mother, and they both talk about being adopted. Sylvie says,
they told you?
Yeah.
They told you?
She's like, I always knew I was adopted. And he's like, they told you? And she's like,
what?
What?
He was like,
yeah.
Well, eventually I found out, obviously, but
right.
He didn't find out until, actually, wasn't it technically, since this is 2012, he only found out like the year before?
Right. Yeah.
Because
he's probably still in the midst.
It was still fresh.
Yeah.
Right. So it's still, he's only had like a year to process this.
Right.
It's weird thinking that because now it's 2021.
Right. For us, it seems like it's so much later.
Right. Or is it what
transpired?
2023 in their time.
Right.
The timeline's all different.
Their timeline, but thinking like, no, it's only 2012.
So then Loki, he starts drinking. Sylvie doesn't drink, so Loki drinks for the both of them. And Loki says it's a pity that the old lady decided to stay and die. But Sylvie reminds Loki that she was in love. Even though she hated Patrice, she was still in love with him. So Sylvie says, maybe love is hate. Then Loki asks Sylvie if there's a beau waiting for her on the other end of this crusade. And Sylvie says, yes, she managed to maintain quite a long distance relationship with a mailman.
Ooh, I have a tidbit about that.
Woo! Go ahead.
Okay.
So speculation
Okay.
that Sylvie's postman could be Willie Lumpkin, who was the one who delivered mail to the Fantastic Four,
Okay.
aka Stan Lee.
Oh.
And also in the comics
Ooh.
dated Aunt May.
Damn.
What?
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's just a theory.
Well,
Who knows if they're gonna, go along with
Ever
that?
connect those dots, but
Right, if they're gonna mention it anymore, but
that's cute. I like it.
yeah.
I like to think of it that way. Yeah.
Mhm.
Then Sylvie asks Loki about himself, saying, "What about you? Your prince must have been would-be princesses or princes in your life." And Loki says, "A bit of both." So there we go. We have it, ladies.
mic drop.
And if
Mic
you notice, the coloring of the train car that they're in
Mhm.
is like pink and purple and bluish.
No,
blue.
was
Yeah.
you're right.
Mhm.
I love it. I love it. Oh, I love the fact that he's being Marvel's representing.
Mhm.
It's just, oh God, I love it. I love every bit of it. So yeah, so now Loki, he's bi. So he's part of the Alphabet Mafia, which we love. Anyway, so he said, that a bit of both, some princesses, but nothing real. Sylvie then says, "Love is mischief then." This really got to Loki. You could see it in his face. He was like, oh, like so forlorn. And the chemistry between the two in the scene is just, there's some sexual tension. I don't know if you guys read that, but that's how I read
did,
it.
and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah,
because he's so self-absorbed, of course he would love himself.
Exactly.
I know, but that's just kind of
another version. I know it's weird, but he's just in love with another version of himself.
I can't say I've been in love with myself, but I know people who are in love with themselves. So
no, I'm not there, but
it was just some sexual tension. So I doubt it's going to go anywhere. So
I hope not. I mean,
yeah, that would just ruin it, right? Well, maybe not. I don't know.
I don't want to see it. I don't.
Well,
it just.
Yeah.
To me, in my mind space, they're like
brother and sister, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
they're like they're made. They're of the same. They're
right.
Yeah,
they're too connected.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, I just
totally
can't get that out of my head. Like,
yeah,
they're like the same person. They're fucking like almost related. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
So anyway, so they both decide to relax in their own way, where Sylvie takes a nap and then Loki proceeds to get completely blitzed. And he's at the bar, leading a sing-along. And Sylvie wakes up to notice two things. Number one, Loki is in his TVA clothes, no longer dressed as a guard.
Right.
And two, Sylvie sees this rich asshole looking Loki up and down and then leaves in a tizzy. So she knows what's up.
Super suspicious.
Yeah, they're onto him.
Yeah, completely. And so she knows what's up. So Sylvie is giving Loki dagger eyes, like, shut the fuck up. Stop singing and get your shit together. And he's just singing. And then he finishes and Loki cheers he goes, "To Sylvie, everybody." And then smashes the champagne glass and says, "Another."
Just like Thor did.
I was going to say, there are so many like callbacks to Thor and, any movie like that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then there's also a parallel to WandaVision.
Ooh.
So because Loki's
I was just going to say that.
And he's singing in Asgardian, and that's similar to when we hear Wanda singing in Sokovian.
Oh yeah.
So that's the only few times we actually hear them in their native tongue.
Oh, very nice.
And then just going back to their conversation about love, and whether it's a coincidence or not, that it kind of pokes fun at Vision's line, you know, like, what is love if not, or what is grief if not love preserving? But then like they're taking it from like their cynical point of view.
Oh yeah, they're very cynical. Yeah, I love it. Great. So it was at this point that I noticed all the green circles all over the train car. Did you notice those?
Oh.
Yeah, they were like kind of like almost like a chair railing.
Yep. Like all over the train car. There was just green circles everywhere. Like in
Great observation.
So could it be because Sylvie is Enchantress? We'll see. Pretty sure she is.
Yeah.
Sylvie is rightfully pissed at Loki. Like she is super pissed. She says, "You are drunk." And he says, "No, I'm just full. I'm very full." Which full in Norwegian, I believe. Oh man, I didn't write this down. I just read it. But full is either in Norwegian or I'm not sure what, but full means drunk, basically.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, full means drunk. So I love it. And I think I'm always going to refer to myself as full when I am full.
I love it.
As in, I'm full of alcohol.
Yes, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Sylvie reams Loki for not laying low and tells him about the rich dude looking at Loki weirdly. And she thinks something strange is about to happen. So, and she's about right. Loki then changes the subject back to love. He tells Sylvie that love is a dagger. It's a weapon to be wielded far away or up close. You can see yourself in it. It's beautiful until it makes you bleed. But ultimately, when you reach for it, and Sylvie finishes his analogy and says, "It isn't real. Love is an imaginary dagger." And
she's like, "That's stupid."
Right?
He was like so proud of himself. Like he thought he got there.
He was like, "Okay, wait, never mind. That was terrible."
Well, he's full, I mean,
yeah,
God.
He's
so, the connection from the brain to the mouth.
Yeah. I mean,
doesn't work very well.
Oh God. They're like, yeah, love is a terrible metaphor. That's what it is. That was a terrible metaphor. Oh, it was horrible. So, and they both agreed that, yeah, it was just bad. It was just a bad metaphor. So then the guard comes back in with the old rich dude and he points him out. He's like, "That guy there, me." And because that's how rich people talk. Me. The guy
salt in my vagina.
Woo! Blast from the past. Salt in my vagina.
Yeah,
I love it. I needed that.
So of course Loki tries to sweet talk himself out of this jam, and it just doesn't work because he's drunk. I mean, I'm sure if he wasn't. Yeah, he's full. He's full. And I'm sure if he wasn't so full, his magic would work, but it's not. And instead of conjuring up tickets for the train, he conjures up fireworks. So that wasn't a good thing. Yeah, that was not good. So a fight starts to ensue and Loki gets thrown out the train window. And then Sylvie's worried about the temp pad. So she flies out the window after him.
So when he gets thrown from the train, he lands and flips his hair the same way he does when he's falling in Thor Ragnarok. And he did that same pose when they were fighting in Rock's cart.
Really?
When they like slid him across the floor on his stomach and then he flipped his hair back. So we've seen him do that same move a couple times.
Oh, that's cool. I did not catch that. Good eye.
Yeah.
So Sylvie is just beyond pissed now. Like it's just this whole episode has been Sylvie getting mad, pissed off, even more pissed, infuriated. Like it's getting to where she can't even control herself, right? I mean, I feel you, Toots.
Real quick though, did we notice, and I just wanted to point out that before they, exited the train, she took off her headpiece and started using it as a weapon during their fight. And that's something that Loki did in Thor Ragnarok.
You're right.
Notice that.
Very good.
And did you also notice that her headpiece only has one one horn? Horn. And in Loki, Agent of Asgard comic series, Loki and Lady Loki wear a similar headpiece with a missing horn.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do we know how she lost her horn? No. We'll find out. So all she wants, Sylvie just wants the temp pad. She wants it now. So Loki conjures it up and it's fried. It's done for. It's broken. It's
obliterated. It's gone.
Very good word. That's the best word to describe it. Obliterated. Sylvie is
like,
now.
Well, I did fall hard.
Yeah.
I just rolled off a train. What do you expect?
Yeah, well. So Sylvie is infuriated and she just screams and this huge burst of energy explodes around them and she just walks off to be alone. And Loki slowly and somberly, knowing he done fucked up, sits next to her and asks Sylvie.
Also, that's also in Thor, I believe I read. When Thor, I think in the beginning, when he's, sitting on the stairs and feeling sorry for himself, like Loki comes around and it shows like the same, like you see him walking and then he sits down.
Yeah.
Like the same way.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
There's another parallel.
There's a lot of parallels. There's not too many tidbits, but a lot of parallels in this episode.
A lot of parallels.
Yeah. So, and Loki asks her if her scream made her feel better. And it looked like it made her feel better because we've all been there. We've all been there, right? We've all wanted to do that. Mm-hmm. So she says yes. And then Loki asks what they need to do now. Sylvie just says, I don't know. She has to regroup, like you could tell she just has to regroup and she'll figure it out in a couple minutes, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. She just seemed very defeated. And the temp pad is completely destroyed now. Both Sylvie and Loki are going to die on Lamentis 1. Then Loki comes up with an idea to hijack the Ark. And
because that always ends well.
Right? And Sylvie simply looks at him and says, okay, that's it. She's like, okay. She doesn't have faith in him, but she has no other ideas, right? So
yeah, she's out.
She's like, let's go with it.
Better than nothing.
Right. So off they go to hijack the Ark. So they're just going to change the timeline. They're going to alter this forever so they can get off safe. Along the way, Loki wants to know more about Sylvie's ability to enchant people. Sylvie says that she needs to make physical contact and then grabs a hold of their minds. She goes on to explain most people are easy and she can overtake their minds instantly. But the stronger ones, they're trickier. She's in control, but they're there too. In order to preserve the connection, she has to create a fantasy from their memories. Like in the case of C20, in the opening scene, she created a memory of them eating appetizers and drinking margaritas at a Chili's. Loki then says, and you call me a magician? Sylvie then goes on to explain that C20's mind was so messed up that she had to pull a memory from hundreds of years prior before she even fought for the TVA. Loki's like, humana, huh?
Wait, what?
Say what?
So you see
Nikki
Loki.
say what?
You see Loki connecting the dots, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, we were right, ladies. The TVA is shady as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
We were so right from the get-go.
Yep.
That means Mobius and everyone around him, everybody at the TVA has been kidnapped. Yeah, they've all been kidnapped. from their timelines, and their memories are like wiped, you know? It's just terrible. I kind of feel vindicated in a way. Don't you? Don't you? I mean, after the Mephisto debacle, I feel like we're, like you said earlier, Jamie, we're really getting this one. We're really getting this one.
I'm feeling real confident, guys.
Yeah.
Watch, we're going to crash and burn next week.
Don't say that.
Okay,
Yeah,
no.
right.
No. All right, so we just needed a prediction win. We haven't had one yet. So this is just a very good prediction win, you know?
You're going to give it to us.
Anyway, Sylvie explains that C20 was just a regular person on Earth who loved margaritas. Loki explains that the TVA told him that everyone who works at the TVA was created by the timekeepers, and that no one at the TVA knows that they are real people. They all think that they're just created for the TVA. Then you hear over the intercom that it will be 10 minutes before launch. So they hurry their asses to the Ark. You can see it like in the background. As Sylvie and Loki are walking through the tunnels to the Ark, Sylvie asks Loki, "Do we trust each other?" And he says, "We do, and you can," as they round the corner to mass hysteria and uprising. And Sylvie replies, "Good, because this is going to suck."
No shit.
Right? There's something about the lighting and the colors used in this episode that just so calming and just beautiful.
I have a theory about that.
Go for it.
We'll
do it during
when we're done.
theories. Okay.
Yeah, I'll do it at the end.
All right. So crowds of people are chanting, let us in, and just screaming and fighting. And ultimately, the reality is that this is an apocalypse and that everybody's going to die. And these people know they're going to die. They're just fighting to the death, heroically. There's an announcement that now says 5 minutes to launch. So now remember, in the timeline, the Ark never even launches. The moon gets destroyed before they can even take off. So Sylvie and Loki hightail it, and they only have 5 minutes to change this course of history. They decide to go around to get to the Ark, like go around the back way to get to the Ark. Meanwhile, they're dodging and weaving through the crowd and fighting off guards and, all this, they're trying to get to the Ark. At one point, a structure is about to fall on them, but then Loki used his telekinesis powers to stop the structure from falling on them. Whoo! That tight shirt.
Yeah. And that is why for the cover art, I put it on there exactly for Nikki.
Man, it's the tight shirt. I don't know, man. A man in a tight suit with skinny pants. I love a good chino on a man, and he rocks a good chino. They finally make it to the Ark, and then bam, it's completely destroyed.
Like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Loki stands there in just disbelief, like all this effort just gone. And then Sylvie walks away in complete defeat. She's done that a couple times this episode, but she just walks away in complete defeat. And then the episode ends.
They're fucking screwed now.
Right. They're fucking screwed. That was their last chance. Or was it? I'm sure they'll find something because that's only episode 3. There's much more to come. And the episode ends with a very melancholy song called Dark Moon by Bonnie Guitar. The lyrics are absolutely perfect for this ending. The lyrics are dark moon, away up high in the sky. Oh, tell me why you've lost your splendor. Dark moon, what is the cause of your light withdrawals? Is it because I lost my love? I just love it. And it was such a good song. I actually downloaded it. I like it. And then we go to credits. And that's Loki, episode 3, Lamentis. Ladies.
Oh.
I know. It was so good. It reminded me so much of Doctor Who. It's not even funny. I love it.
So on the final credits,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you noticed the 2 guards that they had shown earlier in the episode. that when they were asking for tickets and Loki's like, oh, well, we radioed ahead and radioed ahead and they're
wait, time out.
We're
time out.
I'm back.
Jamie's back.
You there? What happened?
I froze and then I don't know, froze and it kicked me
out for a second.
Oh no.
So the guards are credited as PVT Hudson and Corporal Hicks, and that's nods to Hudson and Hicks from Aliens.
Yeah, I read too, but I never seen Aliens, so I had no idea.
Oh my God, put it on the list. Game over, man. Game over. Game over, man. Game over. You gotta watch. Oh
Brother number 2, I
had
me watch that when I was like
too young, I'm sure.
5.
Yeah, too young. So my dad,
yeah,
back in the 80s when VHS tapes and VHS players came out, my dad went and got a job at a place called Alice in Video Land. And it was next to the Blarney Stone in Oak Forest on Cicero.
Oh, okay.
My dad got a part-time job there. So
one of those is still there.
Yeah, right. I know, it's completely different. So anyway, so my dad worked there so he could get he worked there part-time so he could get a discount on a used VHS player. He bought one on discount that was used for $500.
Oh my God.
This is back in like 1980, maybe 81. So he used to take us there. My mom would take us there while he's working and we would pick a video, And so I always wanted to pick Alien or Aliens, one or the other, because they had the glowing egg on the front. And I just thought it was beautiful. And my dad's like, no, honey, I think he's like, no, honey, this is like in the mid 80s. And he's like, no, honey, I think you're going to have to wait for that one. He's like, here you go. Here's Pippi Longstocking. Go ahead. I'm like, all right, fucking Pippi. She's an idiot. Right. I'm like, God damn it. So, but yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you got to watch Aliens. Both Alien and Aliens. Aliens. Okay, so in pop culture, the scene where like there's like a picture of a guy with like this thing coming out of his like an alien coming out of his that's from Alien. That's John Hurt. That's the actor John Hurt. He also played Jesus in History of the World Part 1.
He played Ollivander in Harry Potter.
Okay. Very good. And he was Elephant Man. He was John Merrick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's that guy.
Watch.
Yeah. I got lists, honey. I got lists for you. You have a question, you call your gal Nick. I'll clarify anything.
So what I read, which
are you laying your theory on us?
I am laying my theory.
Wait. Any other tidbits?
No, that was it.
All right.
No, like you had said before, more parallels than tidbits this episode.
Yeah. No, I said all my tidbits.
Okay. Go ahead. We'll do theories now.
If you notice, I think I sent this to you guys in Tiki Talks. Or maybe I read it somewhere. But the first 3 episodes, if you notice the coloring of the episodes, the lighting is so far, like the first episode's been orange, the second one's been blue, and this one was kind of purple.
Ooh.
They're doing different colors of the Infinity Stone.
Yes, that's what you were.
I wonder
that, right?
I wonder if,
yes.
I saw that somewhere.
Yeah.
I sent it to you guys.
Yeah.
But so I wonder
so I can't wait to see episode 4 to see if it seems to go in line with the theory or not.
Or it's just total bullshit and they're totally gonna ruin
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I think there's something to that, Alyssa. I think there's something to that. Okay. Jamie, do you have any alternate theories? Do you have any alternate theories?
No, I really do think that Sylvie is the Enchantress. I just, for as much as she's like so against being called Loki or being compared to Loki. I just don't
Yeah.
think that she is.
Yeah. All right. What if Sylvie, here's my theory. What if Sylvie is enchanting Loki all along and creating this entire scenario?
But she tried to enchant him and it didn't work.
Hear me out. What if Sylvie is because remember when she said that people who are strong, who have a stronger mind, she needs to, let me find it on my notes.
You said they have to be there along, like she's enchanting them, but they're there as well.
Right.
Like it's not just her taking over.
Right. So Sylvie says that she needs to make physical contact, then grabs a hold of their mind. And then she goes on to explain that most people are easy and she could just overtake their minds instantly. But the stronger ones are trickier. She's in control, but they're there too. In order to preserve the connection, she has to create a fantasy from their memories. Right? So maybe that got me thinking, maybe this is all one big farce that she's creating in order to get to the TVA.
Wait, so are you saying this entire thing or just this episode? Because then that would kind of...
Yeah, no, just this episode.
I was going to say, if you're referencing just this episode, it kind of makes sense that it ended the way it did with them not getting off, but that's
because
not the end because it didn't really exist.
Right.
I can see that then.
Just this episode, because when they were tussling before Loki stole the temp pad from her and she had the sword to his throat, she could have enchanted him then. Like she was touching him.
Could be.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, they physically fought several times. There at any time could she have done it to him, right? Or is this Loki enchanting Sylvie? I mean, he is the god of mischief. But
so when they had talked about like her mind control powers in the comics, like Sylvie and the Enchantress use mental manipulation, and it was most notably in Dark Reign, the Young Avengers.
Yes, I read that too.
They show that.
We need to read up on the Young Avengers. I mean, we know of them and we know little tidbits about them, but we've not
read but we don't know
them.
a whole lot.
Yeah, right. We need to do that because it just sounds so fascinating to me, you know? So any other theories, guys? I think we got some pretty good theories going.
Yeah.
Well, my Loki theory is not been proven yet. So I will not highlight that. I will just make it blue on my notes because we have not proven it yet. Where the quantum realm and all that stuff. But the Mobius one and the TVA, if that man does not get himself a jet ski by the end of this series, I am going to be really upset. This man needs to get that man a jet ski, you know?
Maybe Loki will get him one.
Get this man a shield. Get this man a jet ski. Go to Wakanda and get him a jet ski.
That poor man. Oh, I feel bad for all of them, man.
Right, especially him though.
Yeah. So, our clarified questions of clarity. We have none. So, what the color means, we still don't know. But you have a theory. As to the good working theory, but we still don't know. And did TVA create this variant of Loki? We do not know. So, what are our new questions for clarity? Anybody? I don't have any either.
Forget.
Yeah, I don't have any either because it was pretty much just when you step back and look at the episode, as beautifully written and directed and acted as it was. Basically, it was them trying to get power to the temp pad and then just on their way to the Ark and then kablooey. That's all it was.
Yeah.
They took the scenic route of telling that story. Beautiful scenic route of telling that story. So there's really not many questions that came up, you know. It just got them from A to B very quick, in 45 minutes. Are these 45 minutes or half hour? Because they seem like they're short.
This one
they're like
was
50 minutes, aren't they?
Are they?
Each episode was different. I think this episode was only like 41 minutes.
Okay.
But the other one was like 51, I think, like the first episode.
Okay. All right. Because I don't know if it's my nerd brain and just I'm so excited to watch it that it goes so quick. So
the first two episodes were 51 and 53 minutes, and then episode 3 was 42.
They just seem like so short to me. Oh boy, that's a pretty reasonable chunk. All right, ladies, do we have any other business? I think that was I have to say, hands down, this was my favorite episode. I loved it.
Yeah, you could just tell.
She got this.
You could just tell you loved it.
Oh God, I loved every minute of it. It was just wonderful, and I'm so glad that Loki, that Loki is representing the Alphabet Mafia. I love it. I love that. I just love every bit of this. There's just all good things about it, and the series in general, just great. Just great.
Yes.
All right, what do you got for us, Liz?
Find us wherever you listen to podcasts. We are on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, and Anchor. And we are also on Facebook and Instagram.
If you want to email us, reach out to us, tell us how cool we are or how nerdy we are, you can email us at americasassesgalcast@gmail.com. And there's another thing we'd really like you to do for us. We would like it if you would like us,
love us,
follow us,
rate us,
review us,
and subscribe to us.
And one more thing. I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
3,000!
We had tacos for dinner and it tastes even better coming up later.
Yep, a bit.
Man, taco burps, they taste so good. Man, they taste good.
I mean, I guess of all the things that you can burp up and still taste decent, I would say tacos is probably a good one.
Right? I like to free ball it. That's the thing. I can't memorize lines. That's why I never got hired other than for commercials, because I can't memorize lines. I'm terrible at it. I'm like, I'll just whatever. I'll just
see. I can memorize, like I can give a speech. I don't need to. I can memorize it, but I don't have the acting bug, and I never have, and I never will, and I'm okay with that. That's never something I enjoyed. I enjoy, like I said, I can give a presentation, I can give a speech, I can,
No, I can't. I can't memorize speeches, quotes, movie quotes. Sure, I'll get it like that. But
well, you know what? Just make a speech up and just string all different quotes together, and you'll be fine.
At work, I just get so nervous and stage fright,
Do you want to know what that's called? It's called communication apprehension. I did a thesis.
What?
Well, I have that, or whatever that is.
My senior thesis, that's what it was on.
Really?
From my head?
I always found it so odd that people would always say, and there's so much research saying that they were more afraid of public speaking than death.
No, I'm not afraid of either.
Oh, I don't know about that.
There is literally research that says that. And it just boggles my mind, because I'm not that way. I can get up, I can fucking talk to anybody about anything.
Oh, I could too.
Through it.
I could too.
So I was like, oh, that's interesting. Let me delve into this. So that's what I did.
That's awesome, Jamie.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
Okay, so how do you get over that?
Practice. Like anything.
I still do that, and I still get.
You practice by yourself in the mirror. You got to practice with people.
Yep. And you have to, in a good way to help get over it is go with a topic that you're comfortable with. Don't start with something that you have no fucking idea, because that heightens your anxiety.
This is better America's ass is right.
Right.